Hey guys, it's Iggy here. Just one sec. I'm just doing the vlog on the joint update. Oh, hold on. Oh, give me some stupid camera. I don't have my stand on me. So I'm having to stand up on anything really. So basically I have been trying the joints, this new joint system which enables for rotation, and I can't mod the older figures to have it. They're going to be the way they are, unfortunately. How it's not going to be used loads because, well, it's mainly going to be used on human characters, just simply because, you know, the fact that it's cost-worthy materials to do, and it requires 2 mannequins to do it, because unfortunately the metal joints I costed just didn't work at all. They completely broke to pieces. So this new joint system will only be available on human characters. Now, we have got one example here. He's not done at all. He won't even look anything like what he's supposed to be. But he's going to become the new, like, the Doom 4 version of Doom Guy. Yeah, it's nothing so far, I know. But basically what I did is I took 2 mannequins. Now, the spring has a rotation piece in it as well, which enables it to spin at the hands. Now, what I did was I got one of my older mannequins that was going to be Oswald from Five Nights at Treasure Island, but I scrapped that because Doom Guys is more important. I may go back and do Oswald another time, but no. Now what I did is I took the springs out of his feet that have the swivel point, and I applied them to the shoulders. And as you can see, there are 2 joints at the elbow. So what this enables is a double jointed elbow and an elbow that can rotate all the way around as many times as it wants. Yeah, it is a bit funny there. That was the first time doing it. But the result is, you know, you can get him holding, like, various different guns. So you could get him into some pretty cool gun wielding poses, I guess. Again, this is it. The hands are going to be changed as well. The hands are going to be traditionally metal and pewter and all that. Now, there's not been... Doom Guy from Doom 4 is kind of a... He's going to be a difficult one because I'm going to have to take derivations from the original Doom Guy. And I know what you're thinking, why don't you do the original Doom Guy? But I've not played the new Doom, but I really fucking love the design of the new Doom Guy. It looks sick. His armor just looks amazing. So what I'm going to do is kind of, like, so in one of the pictures that I've got, you don't see his shoes or his feet. So I'm going to try and base him off of the old, like, I'm going to try and see if I can get some screenshots, because in game you do sometimes see the feet. And I might, at least I think so anyway, and if I can find some screenshots I will and use those, but if I can't, then I will take the design of the old Doom Guy and try and make my own modernization, sorry. And try and do that. It does mean, however, that the Five Nights at Freddy's figures are still going to be on the same joints. They won't be rotating or anything, like they won't be doing that very much, which does suck, yes, but unfortunately, this is a 5-inch deluxe figure. More articulation, and he's going to come with a buttload of accessories. He's going to come with a ton of weapons. Mainly the classic Doom weapons, such as a classic Doom BFG. I know what you're thinking. Doom 4, classic Doom, like a Doom 4 figure and a classic Doom accessories wouldn't really fit, would it? Well, I don't know, actually. Of course, the monsters, or the demons, are all going to be like classic Doom demons, just because they're much simpler in design and just easier to do. Like the new Pinky, oh my god, that I don't even think I could achieve that in a 5-inch. I'd have to do an 8-inch, and I'm not planning on doing 8 inches because 8 inches is just way more cost expensive. Not to mention having to mod the joints just to make them double would be a pain in the arse. There were plans originally to have nearly every new figure after Doom Guy be double jointed, but it's just not going to be possible. And that kind of makes me sad. I don't know, I might be able to, but I wouldn't be able to have rotation in it. I might be able to get doubles, but the chances are very, very low. Just because, you know, it costs quite a bit with all the materials. Materials are cheap, but I can't go buying them every so often because I don't have that much money. Like, so buying my materials and my clay, which I use, lasts a long time, so that's the most valuable, as in like most value for money and all that, because it can pump out what, nearly 10 or 20 figures roughly before I have to buy a new load. Unless I'm using it for the big ones, which in that case it's mostly going to be 1 or 2. For the 5-inch figures, when it comes to the joints, that's the most cost expensive because I buy like £3.50 worth of joint for 10 joints. And 10 joints, when you're using 4 per figure, it doesn't last very long. It does not last long at all. Which means the joints run out very, very quickly. And that's a problem. A big, big problem. Yeah. If I had a load of money and I was a famous YouTuber, I'd be in my own place doing it non-stop, pooling all my resources and joints, making every kind of figure from any game possible. Heck, what I am going to confirm 6 figures. From Doom, we've got the Archvile, the Baron of Hell, and Doom Guy. Doom Guy being a definite. Baron of Hell and Doom Guy is confirmed. Baron of Hell and Archvile are announced. From Five Nights at Freddy's, there is going to be Chica and Nightmare. And there is Dead Space, which will be Isaac Clarke in his full upgraded suit from the first Dead Space game. That's going to be probably the most sculpt covering out of all of them, because it's not like where you see the joints and all that. The shoulder joints won't be visible, except for the top, because he's got armour all the way around his shoulder, so you'll probably just see the shoulder joint at the top, and then when you move it and look underneath, you see his shoulder joint there. That's it, but most of the sculpt will be covering his joints. And as for his ab articulation, I don't know how I'm going to pull that off. Probably have to use some rubber or something. Because it's not something that's going to be easy to achieve. Maybe I could get away with a bit of gappage. I don't know, but he is one I do want to build. He's not going to have a detachable helmet because, I don't know, I might be able to pull off a detachable helmet. I'm not too sure. Not too sure. But yeah, I may get him a detachable helmet, and that's what I do like. See, I want to make 5-inch figures that have more than just single jointed elbows and knees. I want to make 5-inch figures with double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, waist movement, all the good stuff. I want to beat some of the big companies here. So I want to beat McFarlane and I want to beat Funko, because Funko do 5 Nights at Freddy's figures and they may well be better in sculpt, but I want to beat them in articulation wise. And I want to beat both the companies and things they don't even do. NECA have done Dead Space 2, yes, but I'm not like up for competition with NECA because I like NECA. And I buy a lot of their stuff, I will admit, I do buy a lot of their stuff. But what I do want to do is try and challenge, you know, maybe get my own company. I do want to get my own figure company set up. The thing is, you see, and NECA have said this as well, because they won't do the thing from John Carpenter. It's about what sells. And that's the problem, because if you're making figures and all that, what's going to sell? And not to mention that, if you want a license someone else owns, for example, 5 Nights at Freddy's, you're going to do a lot of legal fighting, I think. I don't know, maybe not, because both NECA and Mezco had the Halloween license, but then it got taken off of NECA and given to Mezco, and now NECA just can't get it back. Hopefully, if I ever started my company, by the time I do, 5 Nights at Freddy's will have been long forgotten. Personally, I hope not, because I love it, but, you know, it's that truth. That's the problem, you see, when you're making figures for yourself, you know what you want, so you can make them for yourself. But when it comes to a company, you can't just cater to one person. You've got to cater to everybody. And if the majority of the people don't want a certain type, don't want a certain genre, for example, don't like a certain product, or say like you're making figures, you've got 30 customers, 10 people like 5 people like 5 people like Call of Duty, want Call of Duty figures. The other 25 don't want Call of Duty figures. There's no point making a load of Call of Duty figures just for those 5 people, because what's going to happen to the rest of the stock? Once those 5 people have bought them, something's going to get remade again. You're not going to make them for the other 25, because the other 25 don't want them. But if the other 25 like Doom, and the other 5 don't, you make what the majority of the public wants, because that's what sells. It's about what sells. I don't even know very much about it, but, you know, I can tell, like, NECA's Predators, they sell, like, Pacific Rim line, they sell like hotcakes. No, their Ultimate line sells like hotcakes, because they do multiple different things from multiple different movies. But the fact is, some people even buy them just because they're Ultimate. Like, I don't know. I don't know, it depends really. I mean, NECA have just recently done the Alien vs Predator line. Now, that movie was not the greatest of all movies. A lot of people hated it and hated the designs of it. However, some people have bought the figures just because they love the way the figures are. They love the engineering in the figures. Not because they like the design of the movie, but they like how well the figures have been made. Even though they don't like AVP that much and they probably despise it, they actually really enjoy the way the figures are. Pardon me, they enjoy the way the figures are engineered, and that's probably something that's good, you know. So if I was to make my company 10 years from now and I started doing Five Nights at Freddy's figures, and people started buying them and reviewing them and seeing how well engineered they were, maybe people might start buying them more and they might sell like hotcakes again. I don't know, I'm just thinking outside the box here. I'm just, you know, I mean, you guys always make requests, but here's the thing, I don't have time or resource to do everything. I've got requests for Chica and Bonnie and Nightmare, and I did a voting poll on Twitter. Nightmare is getting built, hopefully. But I'm focusing on a bit of Doom right now, so that means Doom Guy, for now. Doom Guy is the figure to be the next figure to be made, to go alongside Pinky and Cyber Demon. I'm trying to get a collection of different figures because it's like NECA with their player select. This is kind of like my selection of what I like when it comes to the figures I build. Many people do requests, but what they fail to understand is this is my personal selection of figures. So I will build whatever the hell I please. And I'll build it however I please and whenever I please. It is good to request things. Yes, it is. It is good to request things. I do like requests. But don't get mad if I don't do yours, because do remember, what I'm showing you is what I have personally selected to make. So I just thought I'd share that, because, you know, I don't do this for everyone. I mean, Springtrap was because, well, it's a 50-50. I do it partially for myself and I do it partially for you. Coke nearly spilled. I do it partially for me and partially for you guys, because you guys like the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, but I also do the Doom stuff for me and for the people like Doom. Heck, I get a kick out of my Five Nights at Freddy's figures, alright? I do. Not everyone out there likes my stuff. Totally cool, alright? That's just the way things are. But each figure I build, and I will get around to building all the Five Nights at Freddy's figures characters eventually. I will eventually get around to building every Five Nights at Freddy's character. Every single one, mark my words, even Balloon Boy. But I really don't know how I'm going to do him yet. Because the pewter joints haven't worked, which means I have to use a different technique. Yay. But each figure that I build, I personally select. So it's in the order of where, no, they're not built in any specific order, they're built in my selection, just how I would select them. So, Springtrap, because he was my favourite animatronic, then Withered Bonnie, because I got a bit obsessed with his design. Then, well, actually no, it was Mangle, because Mangle was quite interesting, I wanted to build Mangle. Then it was Withered Bonnie. Then it was Freddy, then Foxy, and then Nightmare Fredbear. That was just my personal selection. You know, my personal selection. That's why they came in that order. It wasn't just a random order. It was the order that I wanted the characters to be there for. And I knew I could deliver on time because, one, I've got all the time in the world to make these, and two, I'm making them. I don't have to appeal. I don't